Cool, cool. All right. So, hi everyone. Thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it a lot. I hope you all enjoy hearing about my project. So, this really started way back when I was a little kid. I've always loved looking through photo albums. I really loved the history of it. I loved seeing my family when they were younger. I loved seeing all the pet photos from the past. History was one of my favorite subjects in school too, so that makes some sense. For who knows what reason, I would also take all of the neatly organized photos out of the photo album and completely rearrange them. I still have no idea why I did that. I'd also ask everyone in the house for stories every night when I was about the same age. If any of them are here, they are. I'm sure they can confirm. I've loved history and stories for a very long time. Last semester, I started writing my degree project proposal. I had a lot of different ideas at first that were more design-centric. Topics like cute design, ways to make something look spooky were some of my first ideas. But over winter break, I spent a lot of time with family looking through photo albums together. And I started to get a new idea. I wanted to do something with the family history that I'd been interested in for so long. From that topic, I came up with this researchable question. How do people store their family history, memories, and photos? Do they keep photo albums, written history, or something else? My goal was to eventually figure out what might be missing from that experience and create something that fills those missing gaps. So after deciding on my question and topic, I started to research. I decided to look into what else was out there as far as family history and family trees. I knew about photo albums, photo books, photos on the wall, and those Word documents my family keeps family history in. But what else was out there? So one of the first things I discovered was Family Search. Family Search is an ancestry tracking site where you can find family members and create a family tree. They have pretty thorough records too, like records of past people's families. American Ancestors is a similar site where you can search records of American immigrants with mostly European ancestry. Ancestry.com is similar to Family Search. It has some records, and you can also create a family tree and family history within the site. Ancestry also recently added a DNA testing feature similar to 23andMe. 23andMe is one I didn't look into too closely because I was thinking more about personal family records than about genealogy. But it's a service I think I should mention, just because a lot of people have made discoveries about their family because of DNA testing. A lot of these sites are also available in app form, so you can see them on your phone. At this point, I was starting to get the idea that I might want to make a website builder, so I looked at existing builders like Wix and Squarespace. Another direction I looked at initially was scrapbooks. I even got some books out of the library on them. I enjoy how personal and individual scrapbooks are and how much care goes into them. They end up really infused with a family's personality in a way that's difficult to achieve on the web. In contrast to that, sites like Ancestry.com can feel really impersonal and dry. They're very neutral and nothing about the design really speaks to the individual family. That's something I wanted to avoid in my final product. I wanted to emphasize the individuality of each family in one way or another. Something else I did for my research was conduct a Google survey about people's experience with their own family history. Most people felt they knew a little bit about their family's history, but not everything. One thing I was excited to learn was that everyone is at least a little interested in their family's history. No one said they weren't interested at all. The majority of people, 97%, also said they wish they had more physical records of their family's history. Most people, 69%, had family stories that were told out loud in person, with 21% having some of those stories written down. Another thing I learned is that most people, at least most young people, are storing their own photographs digitally or on social media now. That really changes the way we interact with photographs compared to the days of photo albums. At this point, my goal for my final product was to create a physical album and a customizable website that was somehow connected to that album. For example, One idea was to have a button on the bottom of each web page you filled out so that you could print it as a formatted PDF and add it to your physical album. After deciding this, I ran a mini workshop with my classmates. Basically, I had them describe their family in 3 words and then describe styles of design in 3 words. My goal with this was to have them describe the designs the same way they describe a family member and see if links could be made between families and types of design. Here's some of the ways they described those designs. For example, the middle one was described as neutral, thoughtful, plain, and secretive. Here are some more examples. Something else I did with my classmates was to have them draw their own family tree. At this point in the process, I was struggling with how best to lay out the family tree on my site, and I wanted to know how people did it intuitively. Turns out, family trees are really complicated. Here's a drawing of my own family tree, which ended up informing my final website quite a bit. And then right as I was finishing research and getting started on my final, coronavirus happened. So this caused a lot of chaos. All classes became virtual and I had to move home with my parents. Because I no longer had access to good quality printers, I ended up scrapping the physical album, unfortunately, and putting all my effort into the website. I wanted to show how a user would be able to create that website themselves through a website builder. These are some of the wireframes I created after deciding on the website. Wireframes serve as rough sketches for website layout. At this point, I knew I wanted to include a family tree, timeline, and photo gallery. So this is the family tree sketch. This is the timeline. This is another bit of the timeline. And then this is the photo gallery. All right, and from there, let's go to the final prototype of the website. I created this in a prototyping tool that lets me preview the look and feel of the website. So it's not an actual published website per se, but it looks like it could be one. And also, this is a video I pre-recorded, so Martha, you can let me know if the audio is weird. I tried it before and it was fine, so hopefully everything goes smoothly.
We'll start at the homepage of the website builder, which is called Kindred. This service is similar to Squarespace or Wix, but specifically made for family history. This view shows it on a tablet, which I think is fitting because tablets are the easiest devices to gather around and share with family. The homepage gives you a little introduction to the service and an overview of its features. All right, let's start creating our own webpage. This is what you'd see after you sign up. Kindred asks you a few questions so that it can start filling out your site before you even lay eyes on it. I'm going to be creating this site with myself and my family as examples, so I'll put our names here. On every page, there's going to be a little prompt that asks you if you want to add more information. You don't have to do this, but if you want to have more of your site filled out right away.
So there's a little bit of a glitch there in Keynote, but all I said there was, if you want to have more of your site filled out right away, you can. And then I went to the next page by clicking that button.
Next, it asks for some family events, so I'll start by preemptively adding my graduation. I'll also add Thanksgiving from last year and a little description of both events. Now it asks for some family photos. I'll upload a few that I have on hand on my computer. Upload from files. And there we go. Lastly, it asks me to pick a style for my site. You could pick whichever you feel fits your family the best. For now, I'll go with minimal. Great, the website is ready. Let's take a look. So this is the website editor. This is what you'd see every time you log into the service. By default, the site is named after the combined names of your parents' families, but you can change it later if you want to. Later, we'll also look at how my final website looks when it's published on the web. Let's customize my family tree a little bit. So as you can see, Kindred has filled out the family tree with the information I added in the beginning. But what if I want to add more information? Let's go to edit this page. So some new editing features pop up. This tip on the side says that we can click on anyone to add connections, so let's try that. Now I'm editing my Nana's connections. My mom has some siblings, so let's add them into the mix. I can click Add Children to add as many as I want. So I can add her brother and sister, and then type in their names. And now they appear on the tree. Now, what if I want to add more details about my Nana herself? I can just click this Edit button in the corner of her icon, and her profile pops up. Now I can upload a profile picture, similar to how I added pictures earlier on. And there she is. The other pages on my site include a timeline and a photo gallery. If I go to the timeline, I can see those events that I added back in the beginning. I also get a sidebar where I can see different lengths of time and customize types of events. I can add new event types besides the defaults, which are gathering, birth, death, etc. And I can add new event types if I want to. If I go to the photo gallery, I can see those 3 images that I uploaded at the beginning. Now, let's take a look at how my site would look if I worked on it for a while and added all of the family members and events that I wanted to add. This is how the finished site would look on the web. You could share a link with other family members so that they could browse the site themselves. You can see I've added a photo and some decorations to my homepage to give it a little personality. Let's look at the family tree. When you open the family tree, the first thing you see is a choice of different relatives. By clicking on them, you can view their family trees from their own perspective, with everything branching out from them. Let's take a look at my perspective. It's a lot more filled out than when I started. You can see it's starting to branch out a lot. Let's look at my Nana's profile again. There's a lot more information here now. There's photos, a description, and even some audio. A side note, it's lucky that I have so many pictures of Nana from a young age. Her mother was really into taking pictures. All right, let's go see what the timeline looks like. All right, here it is. It's got a few more events on it now. I can also zoom in and out and view different years using these controls on the side. Now I can see a more condensed version of the timeline. And now I can see a timeline that just has the years and the amounts of different events that happened in them for a quick summary. If I go back a step, I'm going to take a look at the page from this past Thanksgiving. Similar to the family tree profiles, I can look at events in detail here. I can see photos, a description, and also who attended each event. Finally, let's take a look at the photo gallery. Here's what it looks like now that I've added lots of photos. If I click on one, I can view it larger. I can also tag people in these photos, so it's easier to identify them later. This is me playing with bubbles when I was super tiny and my hair was still baby blonde. Something else I can do in the photo gallery is sort photos differently. Right now they're sorted by date added, but if I click up here, I can view by date taken, or by event, or by people. I'm going to view it by date taken, old to new, now. Now I'm seeing all of the older photos first. They're grouped by year, so I can get an idea of when they were taken. Like with the earlier view, I can view these photos of my Nana in more detail by clicking on them. And I can browse between them using these arrows. Right, those are the main features of the site. I hope you could see this as something you would use and something you would enjoy recording your own family history in.
All right, so that's the video of my final prototype. Thank you all. Special shout out to Nana and Papa for inspiring this project and being a huge help. All right. You can unmute everyone, Martha.
That was very specific.